Emergency! Emergency! Giannis has been traded! Emergency! NBA Straya, how are you going? Are you right? You should be. Why's that, Jim? Well, our long national nightmare is over. The trade we've all been waiting for has happened. And Julius Randle, you are a Brooklyn Net. Nah, that's it. Giannis goes to Miami. That means emergency, Jim. Do a pod. Okay. So we're doing an emergency Giannis trade show because, like, tomorrow we've got the draft and it'll all get lost in the morass. So we're doing the Giannis thing. So that's going to be fun. This is NBA Straya. I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. It's Tuesday, June 23. And pack your bags, Thanasis, Costas, Alex, and Giannis, because you're all probably going to end up in Florida, aren't you? So, yeah, we've got a little bit of other news. Trae Young, the Randle, Nic Claxton, Brooklyn, Minnesota, Chicago trade was pretty interesting. So we're going to break that all down. And most of all, though, like, we're going to talk about this Giannis stuff and do a bit of winners and losers from the Giannis trade. Right? That's how we like to look at things, isn't it, here at NBA Australia? A few winners, few losers. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So that'll be good. So without further ado, let's get into it. I believe this would be episode 1421 of NBA Australia. Giannis is a heater. Can you believe it? Alert!
I don't want to go to Miami. Oh, okay, I will go to Miami.
Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the Shaq attack.
Oh, you better watch out for the Pat Riley just trading everything attack if you're the Boston Celtics. I love it. I love it. Just, you love it when the Celtics get sideswiped by the Heat. It's like a tradition like no other. Anyway, right, let's start today's show the way we start every show here at NBA Australia. Is it usually with you whinging, Jim? No, mother. We started with the Daily Whip Round. There you go. So yes, the Knicks are still champions. That's pretty cool. We have the draft tomorrow. And as expected, as I said on yesterday's show where we broke down the entire draft, who should go where, what every team needs, as I said, stuff will change. It'll get chaotic and it'll mean nothing. And here we are, less than 24 hours later. So we'll work our way up to the Giannis trade because a lot of stuff sort of happened even in between yesterday's show and today's show. For one, as we pontificated about yesterday when it came to the Washington Wizards and who they might take at number 1 in the draft, Trae Young decided to decline that player option of his. And you're like, I don't know. I think it's because he's going to re-sign for a big number with the Wiz. And they should probably just take AJ DeBanster anyway, right? And that's what's happened, at least with the re-signing part. Because Trae Young scores a 4-year, $212 million extension, right? So not a math magician, but I think that's $53 million a year. He was at 49 for the one for next year. So locks in a few more years. The thing is, that's actually less than his max extension, which was 4 years, 229. So it's not exactly a Jalen Brunson haircut, but at the same time, it's Trae Young. There's a man who is clearly afraid of haircuts. If you've looked at the situation up there, I don't know, 4 years, $212 million. You reckon he could afford a trip to Turkey? Anyway, so what does this mean for Trae Young? It means he is the Washington Wizards starting point guard for the moment. Will they still take Darren Peterson? He's not exactly just a flat-out point guard. I still think it could work with the two of them. But I still feel like what I said on yesterday's show about how if you just have an awesome, massive wing that you can roll out there between Trae Young and Anthony Davis, you're suddenly pointing in the right direction if you're the Wizards. And that's, to be honest, that's massive for them because they've just been an absolute train wreck for so long. Just to be pointing in the right direction seems like a good vibe, right? So there you go. Good job, Trae Young. Then we got the Julius Randle trade. That's right, the trade we're all waiting for today. Oh, no, it's the Julius Randle trade. Minnesota, Brooklyn, Chicago. Do a bit of a dance. I kind of like it for everybody. Why is that, Jim? Well, let's talk it out. Julius Randle and pick number 28 in tomorrow's draft go to Brooklyn. So Brooklyn became the 7th team with multiple first-rounders in tomorrow's draft. Milwaukee became the 8th. But anyway, Randle and pick 28 go to Brooklyn in exchange for pick number 33, which is a second-round pick, which you might go, that seems weird. And then Nic Claxton goes to Chicago. And you're like, wait a minute. What did Chicago give up, Jim? Well, they sent Mohamedou Gueye, so the other Mo Gay, the former Raptors guard, not Mo Gay, who's on Atlanta. They sent him to Randle as like basically a team option, I think, non-guaranteed contract. So really, the Brooklyn Nets get a first-rounder and Julius Randle for Nic Claxton. But he just sort of fits into their salary cap space. And the interesting thing with this from the Brooklyn perspective is, as we'll talk about with the Giannis Miami trade, which will be completed July 6th, the Nets still have an opportunity to push that off until next year, where they also still have a humongous load of cap space. So the next cap year, when that actually kicks off, tips off next year, which is from July 6th, they have this moment where they could actually keep doing stuff to use the cap space for this year. You know what I'm saying? So good, smart, dumping ground vibes from Brooklyn. You get pick 28. You get Julius Randle. We've obviously seen that the trade atmosphere around Julius Randle has probably chilled somewhat after his fucking disastrous playoff run where he was, checks notes, dog shit. Yeah, not great. But we're going to talk about the winners and losers later, but yeah, Julius Randle's got to be like, what the fuck, man? The hits just keep on coming. Get traded from the Knicks, they win a title. Now I'm back in New York, but I'm on Brooklyn? Fuck. Anyway, but the big part of this for the Wolves, obviously, in them getting absolutely nothing in return for Julius Randle and giving up a first-round pick to dump him for number 33 in the draft, which is obviously doesn't count against the cap because you can basically do whatever you want with the second round pick in terms of contracts, etc. Essentially, it created a massive trade exception of 33 odd mil, and it took them $63 million below the second apron. So helped a lot, essentially, for Minnesota because the salary for the 28th pick as well as Randle's basically saved them roughly $36 million. So yeah, it makes a bit of a difference. And then, so Julius Randle goes to Brooklyn. Minnesota get pick number 33. Nic Claxton gets to Chicago. Now, if you cast your ears back to yesterday's NBA Straya, you know who might have actually thrown out there, just as a bit of an alley-oop out into the universe, a few names that Chicago could go shopping for to get a big man, right? Because they don't really have a 5. And, Walker Kessler was one that I mentioned. I'm like, if they could get Nic Claxton, that would be awesome. Because then you can take Caleb Wilson at 4 tomorrow and you are suddenly absolutely flying. And then later on, with your second pick, as I said in yesterday's mock draft, you can then have your absolute pick of whatever guards remaining that can just shoot the piss out of it. And that's all you need. And you're laughing. So they're one step closer now with Nic Claxton. And suddenly, if you've got Nic Claxton at the 5 and you get Caleb Wilson, you've suddenly got a pretty bloody good defensive front court behind, like, Booz Ellis, Gids, Anthony Penny Simons, Colin the Sexman Sexton, whichever one of those guards that they end up bringing back. I kind of love this. This is what happens when you get a new regime who know their ass from their elbow, and the Bulls are doing smart shit. Look out. Right, so that all happened. Very cool. So what does this mean for Julus Randle? The Brooklyn Nets might reroute him. Who knows? They could also just roll him and Michael Porter Jr. out there next year they don't give a fuck about like next year's draft, right? They don't own their pick. So they're just like, fucking whatever. They could try to be like a little bit more competitive. But by the same token, they could try to get more assets for Randle if there's like another contender-ish kind of team out there that's like, oh, geez, we could use like a guy who shits his dacks in the fucking biggest moments. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so that's pretty good business, I reckon, by Brooklyn just to get a first-round pick and Julius Randle that they can maybe flip. Maybe they can flip Michael Porter Jr. into something as well. Maybe you're sitting there going, hey, Detroit, just give us pick 21 and something else in the future and we're laughing, right? Maybe the Piston. Oh, Julius Randle would be a great Piston, wouldn't he? He's got that. Oh, it'd drive fucking Cade Cunningham mad. But still, he's got a bit of that bad boy vibe to him. Anyway, so yeah, lots more options still up there for Brooklyn. I'm sure tomorrow will be absolutely chaos, and Sean Marks will probably draft like Karim Lopez with pick fucking 6. Anyway, the other thing that Minnesota then did was extend Ayo Dosunmu to a 5-year, $112 million contract. That's pretty good. Also, just shows you how fucking shit the previous regime in Chicago was by just going, nah, you take him, man. Yeah, we'll take a flyer on Rob Dillingham. Yeah, just give us that. Just chaos. Anyway, but love that for Minnesota. So they've used a bit of that space. They go and re-sign Ayo, who is obviously integral to, I guess, what they're going to do. And obviously my plan today was to not do a show unless Giannis got traded. And one of the things I didn't really bash around the head yesterday was like, I would have fucking have loved Minnesota to get in on the Giannis sweepstakes, because if you look at their team, if you could have had Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Gobert, and Giannis, suddenly you've got like a fucking big, chaotic, awesome team that you could throw at like OKC or San Antonio. And when the Randle move happened, I'm like, ooh, that's not it. Like they're carving out some space, but they're not getting anything in return for your man Randle. So that's a bit rough. Anyway, so it's Ayo. And you think about Minnesota now, it's like a lot of Ayo, Anthony Edwards, obviously McDaniels, Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert. They kind of need like maybe the one or two extra little bits and bobs that I feel like they're doing okay. So love that for Minnesota. And then the big one. The big one. Oh, yeah. Don't mind this. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been traded to the Miami Heat. As I said, finally, our long international nightmare is over. The Greek freak is done in Milwaukee. It is no longer Algonquin for the good land. Or is it? Because the Bucks traded Giannis and Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat in exchange for Tyler Herro, Kalal Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Kasparas Jakinchunas, 3 first-rounder picks, including this year's 1 pick swap and a second-rounder. That's a bit. That is a bit. So, that is this year's pick 13, which they can then pair with their pick number 10. Possibly, if they want to jump up maybe a spot or two. A team like Sacramento, who are just going to fuck up their picks anyway. They should just fucking give that to Milwaukee for 10 and 13. But 10 and 13 in a draft like this, I mean, I sort of talked it out on yesterday's draft show. Like, I think having multiple bites of the cherry in this draft, as we have now 8 teams with multiple picks, is very smart business, because I kind of feel like there's going to be some very fucking good players that come out of this draft Now the Bucks got a crack at two of them. Unfortunately, the reason the Milwaukee Bucks are in the situation that they find themselves in where they have to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo to the Miami Heat is because they have righteously fucked up every single draft for basically the last decade. Have they, Jim? Yes. Yes, they have. They have been fucking horrendous at drafting. And this is the entire thing that you need when you win the title in 21, right? It's awesome. You're like, all right, this is very fun. We've won the title. We've got three dead set awesome veterans. You've got Giannis, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. Awesome gear. How do you build out around that sort of core? Oh, they're going to get old, Jim. Yes, they will. So you better fucking draft smart. And they did not. You could almost say that essentially, apart from maybe one pick that they didn't even sort of end up developing into a decent role player, they have gone absolutely over in the last decade. So since 2016, when they quite famously took our man, Kung Fu Thon, at 10, they took Malcolm Brogdon. Jim, he won Rookie of the Year, and then was like out of the league within like 8. El Presidente. Love Malcolm Brogdon, but yeah, broke down. Played 463 games. That is the most. Aside from Dante DiVincenzo, who was in 2018, that ended up has played in the NBA because, oh boy, the rest of them are a shit show. So Thon McCurr, Malcolm Brogdon. Next year, you've got DJ Wilson and Sindarius Thornwell of the famous Thornwells. Dante DiVincenzo in 2018. Kevin Porter, which is funny because he ends up back on the Bucks. RJ Hampton, he goes anyway, doesn't get picked, doesn't play for them. Jordan Nwora, Isaiah Todd in 2021, Marjon Beauchamp in 2022, Chris Livingston in 2023, AJ Johnson in 2024, Tyler Smith as well, and Bogoslav Markovic last year. That is Dante DiVincenzo and Malcolm Brogdon in a decade of drafts. They had to give up a bunch of those picks to go and get the players that got them the title, but wow. That's the thing. You got to hit on those late first rounders to actually, stay a contender in today's NBA. Denver have sort of half hit on a few of them, which has sort of kept them obviously very relevant around Jokic. But you've also sort of seen like Golden State whiffing. Like Moses Moody, fine, right? The Cum Dog Millionaire, fine. The Wiseman one, disaster. But yeah, you need to actually hit on those picks to really sort of build out around a veteran core, and they just haven't. So the Bucks have fucked up the draft. But now they've got 10 and 13 in this one. Gives them a lot more options. There'll be some very interesting names that they can go after. I think on yesterday's one, we talked about like Nate Ament, but at 13, it gives you sort of any run at any sort of, guard, big man, whatever you sort of feel like in those 10-13 range. Again, options. It's huge. And more bites at the cherry is good because Yakin is very, very, very interesting as a prospect. Jaime Jaquez is very interesting as well. Kalel Ware, yes, got into Spo's fucking doghouse a couple of times, but he's 22, and I feel like there was some flashes there. We were like, oh, don't mind this. And then you got Tyler Herro, who just might get rerouted somewhere else, and you might get other stuff in return. If not, you get like an all-star guard who can shoot the piss out of it. So, and you got 3 picks, including this year's, and a pick swap. You are fucking laughing. My favorite thing out of all of this was the reporting. Oh, yeah, Yakin was the version of the Miami version of Boston refusing to give up Hugo Gonzalez. I love that. Boston like, nah, man. Nah, we can't part. Couldn't possibly part with both Jaylen Brown and Hugo Gonzalez in any trade, as well as 2 first-rounders, yeah. I mean, he averaged 4 points a game last year. Did you see that? We're talking about fucking Hugo Gonzalez here. Hugo Gonzalez. Yeah. Great job, Boston. Just amazing. So, all-star guard. 3 first-round picks still on rookie deals in Jaime, Yakin and Ware. It's pretty good. You get another lottery pick in tomorrow's draft. 2 other firsts. Pick swap. And a second rounder. Compared to Jaylen Brown and 2 firsts. Fuck yes. That's an absolute haul. for the Milwaukee Bucks. And for the moment as well, it doesn't include any additional teams, but because they can't execute it until July 6th, it does leave the framework open for other teams to sort of wiggle in there. I'm looking at you, Detroit, if you can go and get Herro. So, how do we feel about Giannis in Miami, first off? Conflicted, me. It leaves the Miami Heat with Davion Mitchell, question mark Norm Powell, because they have to re-sign him, Andrew Wiggins, Giannis, Bam Adebayo as your ostensible starters if you bring back Norm, which is difficult. We'll get to that in a second because they're hard capped. Anyway, you've also got what? Pele Larson, Nikola Jovic, Simone Evans, etc. So now they're hard capped to the first apron because of the 125% trade exception for Giannis. They've got $18 million left to fill 5 roster spots, basically, right? Including bringing back Norm. So essentially what the Heat will probably have to look at doing is like seeing if they can get Wiggo to opt out of his contract, re-sign a longer one for a bit of, a cheaper annual amount, but locks in a few more years. And otherwise, it's a bit of a rough one. And this is kind of the thing. When you gut your team and go do a full mellow, you never do a full mellow. All that the New York Knickerbockers had to do in the Carmelo situation was just wait it out. Oh, but we were afraid that the New Jersey Nets were going to get him and because they're moving to Brooklyn. Great. Roll the dice. Instead, they got their team and like Melo doesn't sort of have much around him anymore when he gets to New York and it fucks him for years. Miami, at least they kept Bam. At least they still have Davion. Norm Powell, if he comes back, you're feeling okay. Like there is the sketch of a very good team there, but it's a very, very fucking shallow team and it gets really hard very quickly. As we saw with the Knicks this year, if you've got an awesome starting 5, you might be all right. I don't know if Davion Mitchell, Norm Powell, Andrew Wiggins, then Giannis and Bam is that. All right, Davion Mitchell, Norm Powell, Wiggo, you probably want a little bit more shooting out of that lot, but Norm, if he comes back, he's going to have to be launching a million fucking threes. And all you sort of want off the bench then is like, you're going to need a little bit more size. You're probably going to need like some more shooting, and it's going to be very fucking hard to get it with the lack of money and assets you've now got. So this is the problem. You got the star. You went star hunting. You finally fucking got one. But where are you now? Flip side. Milwaukee. Who cares? They got 3 firsts, a swap, Herro, Ware, Yaku, and Jaime. They're laughing. This is great. Pick 10 and 13 in this draft. They've got 2 more firsts. Could they still send Herro to Detroit? Who knows? But that's pretty good. Not bad at all. So there you go. Giannis to the Miami Heat. We'll do winners and losers that in 1 second. The other bit of news was that the Mavs actually hired a coach. They went and hired Michigan's Dusty May. Look out. Wop, 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 wow. Because they won the NCAA title this year. Michigan. Dusty May coached them. It's pretty good, right? It doesn't kind of happen that often. And I like this because it's Messiah tapping the guy who's just like, you know what? I won the fucking title in college. Sometimes that doesn't go great. We've sort of seen a bit of umming and ahhing here and there. He was very, very good in Michigan, very, very good at Florida Atlantic. And essentially, I think the way that he sort of goes out and goes about his business, he's a very young, well, he's 49. He's a smart, relatively youngish college coach. And I think he's the first one to go from college to NBA as a head coach since John Beilein. That disaster that we had in Cleveland there for a little bit. But I think especially the first one to do it after winning the NCAA title, Larry Brown did that in 88, and that was it. And the last one who was actually a title-winning coach to go from NCAA to the NBA was Billy Donovan. Billy D! So anyway, but this is good because now you've got, I think it's kind of interesting for the Mavs because you got Dusty May who would have coached against a bunch of the incoming draft class. And I talked about this on yesterday's show. It's a bit of a, look, Masai's going to pick who he's going to pick with the Dallas picks in the first round. They've got 2. What do they got? 9 and 30. And, you know, he'll have a coach who sort of fits around that. Dusty May is going to be having, oh, fuck, I remember this guy, I don't mind this guy. So he's going to have a couple of thoughts. They've probably talked all this out. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, weird sort of situation for Michigan. Kind of don't mind it for Dallas. I think clearing out the Jason Kidd morass there, the Luka, Cuban, Nico shit show, and just sort of starting completely afresh. I love it. You've still got baby Gerber fuckwit like owning the team, but still. Anyway, good stuff. Way to go. So, Portland, as I said yesterday, so cheap they don't want to pay a coach to not be coaching a basketball team until the games start. He cheap as hell. So, yeah, good job. The Blazers are the only ones who don't have a coach at the moment. Right, let's do some winners and losers of the Giannis trade right after. Let's do this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're
Australia.
listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right. Let's do some winners and losers from the Giannis trade. It's all brought to you by you. That's right. You can go check out our Dead Set Legends Club, which is our Patreon, right? Helps keep the lights on, keeps the show afloat. And you also get exclusive content where we just do special shows just for the Dead Set Legends Club. So go check that out. It's at buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Real easy, real fun. The last one we did was talking about the top 10 Aura title teams of the 2000s and, ranking all the titles, all the fun stuff. It was really, really fun. So go check that out. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Right. Let's do some winners.
Oh my God. I won! Recapping our day's top story, the winner of today's state lottery is me.
Giannis
Kent Brockman.
Antetokounmpo. That's right. No, not Giannis. We'll get to him in a minute. Pat Riley. Oh, the Heat always go big game hunting, man. And look, Jordan's like, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway. I did enjoy Shams' tweet where he's too busy gargling the old 80-fucking-year-old nuts of Pat Riley. I can't believe he could type it out while he was actually gargling those nuts, but there we are. But still, the legend of Pat Riley just continues apace. The dude is older than fucking Methuselah at this point. He's like, doesn't matter. And still go get Giannis. Take all my shit. I love it. Oh, he's a genius deal maker. Is he? He gave up so fucking much. But he's a winner because everyone's like, oh, fucking Pat Riley does it again. Oh, look at Pat Riley. He's just making deals. Yeah, great. You made a fucking mid-contender in the East. Are they even a top 4 team? We'll get to that in a second. But the legend of Pat Riley lives on, unabated. And look, yeah, getting deals done like this is fucking hard. And I assume, as has been reported, right? Like, giving up on Yakinchunas is pretty rough. That's like their version of Hugo. It's like, we've got a young dude who was like a fucking first rounder last year that we love. And giving him up is obviously going to hurt. It's going to suck. But in return, you get a 31-year-old Giannis. Oh, okay. Okay. Still, it's not bad. Not bad. I'll pay that. So, Pat Riley continues to win no matter what. He's got that Miami Heat. He's got that hair, the suits, and now he's got Giannis. He goes big game hunting, does Pat. Okay, good. Obviously, the big winner out of this, if you ask me, is Milwaukee. I think there's a bit of a fleecing going on here. like hero, Tyler, there goes my hero. Kalel Ware, Kasparas Yakintunis, Jaime Jaquez Jr. That's actually like a fucking pretty decent slew of talent, right? Hero struggled to stay healthy last year, but still, we know that he can ball. Kalel Ware has shown some flashes, as I liked him a lot more than I think than other folks did, including possibly Eric Spoelstra, but here we are. Yakintunis, again, flashes as well as a rookie. It was pretty funny as well because I feel like at times he was like much better than half the dudes that Brooklyn took ahead of him. And Jaime Jaquez Jr., like that dude just fucking plays hard. And suddenly Milwaukee's got like, you know, in terms of their outlook, they're sort of sitting there going, well, this is good. We've got some shit we can sort of, build around. And it's sort of a weird situation where they're sort of looking at their picks. They send out, 2027 goes away. 2028 is gone. These are all swaps and stuff, right? It goes back to like the Giroux trade, the Dame trade, all this sort of stuff. And so like 2027, the Pelicans get the best pick out of it, and Milwaukee's first round. Atlanta gets the other one, and then off they go. So Milwaukee are like, right, we've at least got some picks down the road. And my favorite thing about this entire sort of situation is that they got the unprotected first rounders that they got are in 2031 and 2033, when Giannis will be 36 and 38 years old. Right? These are the ones that come back to bite you in the ass. It's like, oh, but we might be good forever. We're the Heat. Maybe. Maybe not. Right? There's only one thing in this world undefeated. It's Father Time. So I'm just saying, you get that pick swap in 2030 as well. Who knows what happens to the Heat in 5 years' time, right? So kind of love that for the Bucks. But they also have a bunch of other talent they can... Look, I feel like comparatively, is when you're looking at Jaylen Brown and 2 firsts, to get a range of different talent where you can sort of kick the tires on Yakintunis and Ware and Jaime and see if Herro likes playing at home, that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's probably better than just having Jaylen Brown and rerouting him somewhere else and getting some more stuff. But I don't know. There's a bit of talent they got in return. And yeah, having those unprotected first in 31 and 33, I love that. Like, this is the same sort of stuff that, what was it? I think, Brooklyn's got Dallas's 2029 pick for Kyrie and shit like that. Just sort of stuff like that where you just go, we'll kick that can down the road and who knows what'll happen. And especially with the new draft rules, the more chances you have of just a team being a bit shit and getting lucky and then suddenly you've got their pick, the fucking better. So don't mind that. And also getting 13 from them in this draft. So you got 10 and 13. It just sort of adds to the fun thing. So Milwaukee, I think, walk out of this as a bit of a winner. If you have to trade Giannis, right? And they did, obviously. Would they have gotten more than this last year? Maybe. But it's still 3 firsts and a bunch of young talent. They actually got that. I don't think Golden State were beating that. Not too many other teams were either. So, yeah. I'm going to chalk it down as a win for Milwaukee. Also a big win for Miles Turner because that dude hated Giannis. Another win, who's already there, I think, is Kevin Porter Jr. because what's that? I think he's just now got a green light to do whatever the fuck he wants. Right? He's like, well, if Tyler Herro is still on this team, cool. Maybe Yakintunis, who knows? But this is Kevin Porter Jr.'s team now, baby. Off he goes. Doc Rivers, I think, is a winner in all of this as well. Got out while the going was good. Saw the writing on the walls I do not want to be saddled with all these losses. Fuck this. I'm out. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Peace. I'm out. Good job, Doc. Just, there's a guy who is so overrated that it blows your mind. It really is. Other winners. Bobby Portis. He's like, this is great. I'm fighting Bobby Portis. I'm fighting around the world. He now goes and hangs out in Miami. He's warm. And he's like, this is fucking great. All I do is hang out with Giannis and I get to fucking go to Miami. This is sick. I feel like he is like the most Miami Heat player who hasn't been a Miami Heater. Right? It's a bit of that. Julius Randle, maybe. But Bobby Portis, that's fucking great for Bobby Portis. Love that for him. But yeah, Bobby Portis is a bit of a winner. Outside of that, it's kind of like, I think the NBA is probably pretty happy with the simple idea that, you know, they also have a superstar in Miami rather than Milwaukee. Trying to tread carefully. Sorry, Bucks fans. But yeah, look, Miami having a superstar makes such a bigger fucking draw when you see the Miami Heat on that calendar, on that broadcast. You're like, hell yeah. Because like as soon as the Bucks started dismantling that core and it all went to shit when Dame tore his Achilles, and even then before that, like Dame and Giannis just weren't clicking. It just wasn't quite like fucking primetime chaoticness cool shit. So yeah, I think a big winner is the idea and the lure of a superstar. So, again, Adam Silver is a winner. But then, I think outside of that as well, like you've got all the winners, like Jimmy Haslam, the new owner of the Bucks. He's like, I want to get a fucking deal done before the draft, and he did. He might suck and just be like horrible, but got it done, I guess. And outside of that, I mean, you got to look at this and go, well, Taylor Jenkins, does he come into this and go, cool, man, like no one's going to give a fuck about what I do for 3 years? Remember how they hired Taylor Jenkins, former Grizzlies coach? I think Taylor Jenkins is a good coach. He's going to be a massive winner here. I just get to fucking do whatever I want. Got some new toys to play with. Not going to be beholden to Giannis. This is fucking great. So he's a bit of a winner too. Right, how about losers?
We're not losers. No, you two are winners. Big winners. When I grow up, I want to marry a big winner like you guys. Shut up.
Losers.
Loser. Loser. Loser.
Losers. Giannis. But Jim, he goes from cold-ass Milwaukee, Wisconsin to Miami, Florida. Yeah, so he goes from like one team where he's the alpha superstar and like a bit of a shit supporting cast, but he's cold, to a spot where he is the alpha superstar with a bit of a shit supporting cast, but he's warm. All right. But more than that, I think I loved that, especially for a very long time, it felt like Giannis was on that sort of Dirk, Kobe sort of trajectory, right? One team player vibe that's very rare. It's very cool. And then as soon as it went like sideways a bit, he fucking passively, aggressively sooked and bitched and moaned and wanted out. But
I don't want to go. I love Milwaukee. I don't want it ever said that I do not love Milwaukee.
It's like, okay, fucking sure. Then shut up and like just play better. Stop getting hurt. I don't know. But yeah, the passive aggressive, like,
I never asked for a trade,
is so much fucking bullshit. And it's such a bummer. Like, it just, like Dirk, the amount of times that he could have gone, fuck this, I want out. Kobe, he did. But he fucking stuck it out eventually after they traded for Pau Gasol and co. Won 2 more titles there in LA. Don't forget that he wanted out. He wanted to go to Chicago, wanted to go to Detroit. He didn't give a fuck. And then Jerry Buss is like, right, fucking settle down, dickhead. We're going to get some other shit in here. Just fucking bear with me. And they did, and he did. So, good job. But yeah, now Giannis is in Miami. It's one of those, all right, if they don't win anything for the rest of his career, it's sort of, it doesn't tarnish the one title, right? It doesn't tarnish that. But in terms of when you look back and go, and then he went to Miami. Yeah, that was all right, but it never doesn't have the feel-good vibes of Milwaukee, does it? It is Algonquin for the good land, after all. But no, now he's gone to Miami, and here we are. right? It's just sort of just a bit of a bummer. It's hard when the team around you is sort of like falling apart. They've tried a bunch of different shit to appease you, to make the team really fucking good, and it just hasn't worked. And then you go, okay, I want to go. You're well within your rights. It's fine. I can't begrudge that. But I also can. Because I can. I can begrudge whatever the fuck I want. But it's not even like you can't argue with him. You're like, fine, man, you want out, you want out. Just don't do this weird fucking passive-aggressive bullshit.
I never wanted to leave. I never want to leave Milwaukee. I'm just done with the Bucks.
Sure thing. Yes, we all believe that. Because other losers here are Bucks fans who loved Giannis and had the Giannis jersey and thought they had a Dirk. They thought they had their Kobe, a man who loves Milwaukee. Then the going gets tough and he gets fucking going. So thing is, Bucks fans then get to go, well, this is cool. We've kicked the can down the road. We've got Tyler Herro, local legend. We've got a bunch of other fun shit going on. We've got some young dudes. We've got a bunch of picks so we can at least, hope that they're okay in the future. But it still sucks when you're a fan and Giannis is now gone. The 2021 title is now like half a decade ago. And so is Giannis. And so is all vestiges of that fucking team. It's just a bit sad, man. So anyway, but at least they've got some hopes to, hope and fun young dudes to sort of jump onto, but still, bit of a tough one. Miami are losers. Jim, how can they be losers? They got Giannis. Yes, great. You've got Giannis and you've got Bam. You don't have Norm Powell just yet. You've got Davion Mitchell. You're fucked with spacing. And last time I checked, the way to win around Giannis was with a lot of spacing. Bam was shooting a lot more threes this year, obviously. The tough part is your hard cap. The East is tough as hell all of a sudden. You've got no assets to really improve outside of what you've already kind of got. It's going to be a lot of G League, a lot of minimum dudes, some veterans here and there. Sounds pretty weirdly familiar to what Giannis just left in Milwaukee, doesn't it? Yeah. Do have a better coach, though. Just say that. Tyler Herro, he's a bit of a loser as well. Oh, geez, Jim, that's rough. It is, but just imagine that. He's going back home, though, Jim. That's going to be great. Is it? Is it? Now, being someone who's from a cold climate, Ballarat, and having lived in other places where it is warmer, you know what I prefer? Somewhere warmer. You know what's better than home? Somewhere warm and awesome and Miami. So Tyler Herro is not going to be able to wear ironic bucket hats in Miami anymore. He's going to be wearing just bucket hats because he's in Milwaukee. So, yeah, he's just gone from the glitz and glamour and the all-night clubs, the Miami party scene, to Milwaukee. That is rough, I'll tell you. It's pretty rough. Thing is, the other next loser is Detroit. How Detroit aren't able to get into this deal and go, all right, here's a couple of our things. Here's pick 21 in this draft. Here's fighting Ron Holland. Here's a couple of other little bits and bobs. Give us Tyler Herro. He's perfect next to Cade. Let's make a deal. How Detroit haven't already done that? It's fucking beyond me. Come on. Go get Tyler Herro, Detroit. That's all I want. Jaylen Brown is a loser out of all this. He's like, oh, come on, man. I'm a fucking finals MVP. You don't want me? This is bullshit. But also, how the fuck does he go back to Boston after they've just been like, who wants a Jaylen Brown? You want a Jaylen Brown? I got a Jaylen Brown over here. You want a Jaylen Brown? Oh, no one wants a Jaylen Brown. Fuck. Brad Stevens like, hey, man, we knew what we were getting into when we were trying to trade you, Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown's probably like, I fucking hate all you guys, just FYI. Because he 100% does. Yeah, that's going to be, the vibes on that team are going to be a little bit shonky next year. Other losers, Thanasis, Costas, and Alexei. That's right, the other Antetokounmpos. They're going to be like, are we coming? So I'm trying to figure out if they're winners or losers, because does Thanasis lob on to Miami for a minimum? I don't know. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Kyle Kuzma, he's just a loser in general, having to retweet, hey man, I'm not a throw-in, 6'7", do everything wing. I'm not just a throw-in for trade deals. I'm Kyle Kuzma. It's like, no, you're just a weird loser, buddy. He's like gone full AI. It's like, you know how the crypto dudes all changed to AI? That's what Kuzma is. It's probably what, Dali's probably really into AI as well. But anyway, Daly's a winner. He's having a great time in Scotland and England with the 2016 Cavs at the moment. I love that. But like Kyle Kuzma is just sort of like, he's almost a bit Will Smithy, you know, with the empty room, just like, oh man, where'd everyone go? It's like, and he's like, no one is here to blame except for you, Kyle Kuzma, for playing like absolute dog shit the last couple of years, right? You've got no one to blame but yourself. He's like, hey man, what about like a 6'7" like wing who does everything he's asked to do? It's like, you could do it better, for one, because you've not been very good. Since when is a 6'9" wing who plays any role you ask, guards 1 through 5, shot almost 50% from the field, and cares about defense a throw-in? Lol. Well, since that 6'9" wing who plays any role you ask, guards 1 through 5, shot almost 50% from the field, and cares about defense, has been like shithouse at basketball for the last 3 years. That's probably when. That's probably when you become a throw-in. Just saying, Kyle. And then finally, the biggest loser out of probably the last 24 hours has got to be Julius Randle. Like, the dick hits just keep on coming for Julius, don't they? Like, just one full-on Draymond stomp to the nuts after the next. Because not only does he watch his former teammates on the New York Knickerbockers of New York City win the NBA title without him, he then is absolutely dog shit in the playoffs, and Minnesota are like, oh, fucking hell. And then he is salary dumped along with a first-round pick to Brooklyn. So he's in New York, but not on the team that won the title, the team that no one cares about. That is a rough one for your man's Julius Randle, isn't it? It really, really is. A couple of other ones that I was sort of thinking about as well. Golden State. I don't know how Golden State weren't ever able to sort of piece together a decent deal where, you know, Steph Curry in his twilight years, you've got Draymond, you've got like a raft of sort of young-ish kind of dudes. Moses Moody did his ACL or whatever it was, right? That was horrible. But you got a bunch of sort of young dudes. You've got the extreme zinger meal still there in Golden State. Don't forget about that because we always do. Is he supercharged though?
Supercharged Zinger Burger.
You won't know until the season starts. But yeah, not being able to get something done with Butler's deal and like a bunch of other stuff and get really into the Giannis sweepstakes because you feel like Giannis and Steph, you kind of, whatever the fuck else you've got on that team, you can really build out some shit in Golden State. And Steve Kerr sticking around for at least another year or two or whatever it was he re-signed for. It feels like, yeah, we're going to go get Giannis, Steve, so just stick around. And then they were sort of never in it. So I feel like they came out that sort of, you know, losery end of things because they never really, I don't know, what's their plan? Right? At least Miami's plan was like, if we get Giannis, we've got Giannis and Bam and a couple of dudes. Maybe that's enough. As we've seen with Milwaukee, it's probably not unless he's really, really super duper healthy and stays that way. Can you rely on that? Don't know. But at least Milwaukee have now got like a bit of insurance that it doesn't work out and they've got their picks in the near future. So not bad. I've already mentioned Detroit. I feel like other losers, it's probably like, I was waiting for the moment until like the Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin re-signings. You're like, if there's some sort of Phoenix situation where like whether it be Dylan Brooks or Jalen Green or something, and Giannis out of absolutely fucking nowhere lands on Phoenix, and then suddenly they're like right back into, oh shit, look out, Booker and Giannis, don't mind this. And the same thing sort of went for Minnesota. Like before the Randle trade today, it's like if they can just sort of finagle this where they clear out the Randle spot, a couple of other things. If you've got Ant-Man, McDaniels, and Giannis, I kind of don't really care what else you're sort of throwing out there. If you've got a little bit of shooting, a little bit of extra shit, you're fucking laughing. Unfortunately, they had to salary dump Randle so they could keep Ayo, and here we are. So that's a bit of a tough one. Toronto as well, a bit of a loser. They're sort of still stuck in the no man's lane. You feel like if they were really into this kind of idea of getting Giannis at 31, the problem is like with Scotty Barnes being there, it was kind of never going to be a good fit with Scoob and Giannis. If you're moving RJ and Brandon Spindles Ingram and picks and whatever. But yeah, So there's a couple of other teams that you feel like never really got into the conversation where you're like, I feel like you guys should, and I don't know what's going on. So, bit of a strange one. But anyway, so what else we got? You think about 10 and 13 for the Bucks in the draft tomorrow. How does that change their outlook there, Jim? Well, 10, we sort of talked about Nate Ament. I still feel like that's 100% on the board. And then again with 13, you can either go for another big like Mara, or essentially because you've got Ware and you've got Miles Turner, maybe you get like a backup big like project you can work with for a little bit. And then, I don't know, you've got Karim Lopez, those sort of big wings, Firelon and co. So there's a few dudes floating around there that you feel like if they get a bigger wing and a guard or a backup big, then they sort of walk out of this feeling pretty good about themselves and a bit sort of restocked with it all. So that's pretty cool. So good job for the Bucks. It'll be interesting to see if they try to trade up as well. So maybe consolidate one of those, those 10 and 13 into something else. Or if they flip Herro for something else as well and keep going and keep really, really, really restocking on the super young talent. I guess the other one is like, what did Boston do now without Jaylen Brown? I think Boston are in a really tough spot. Derek White, obviously Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Tatum, Brown, Namus Cater, Sam Hauser, Baylor Scheiman, the untouchable Hugo Gonzalez, which is now his full name. It's a bit of a strange one. I mean, I still think you keep the Jaylens together. Jalen and Jason, just keep the Jays together and you're fucking fine. Because you can hang with most people. You got steamrolled by Philly out of fucking nowhere this year. That's probably because Derek White played like dog shit. I'd be more worried about that than Jaylen Brown, who stepped in and went, I'm fucking awesome. So, yeah. I never really liked the fit of Tatum and Giannis, but anyway, I think Brown and Tatum, be interested to see what they do tomorrow as well. So there might be more shit going on. It's going to be pretty chaotic, and that's going to be awesome. But we're going to leave it there because the draft is tomorrow morning. One of my favorite days on the calendar. We'll probably go live for a bit of it. Yeah, we might go live for like the top, what do? Usually the lottery, so the first 14 picks or so. We'll sit in the studio, chat along with you. You can have us on a second screen. We'll do our draft analysis, and then we'll do a show after the first round's finished, breaking it all down, giving out some grades, etc. So, should be good. But there you go. Giannis Antetokounmpo is on the Miami Heat. There's your emergency podcast we got there. Giannis has finally been traded. Let it all out, Bucks fans. Let me know what you think. Send in all your questions, all your yeah nahs for tomorrow's show, for Friday's show as well. Send them through. Your thoughts, your vibes, what you reckon. How did I get the winners and losers wrong? Do you like it for Miami? Do you hate it for Milwaukee? Do you love it for Milwaukee? Let me know. And especially if you're a Bucks fan or a Miami fan, give us a shout. Because I don't know, man. I don't know if it really, really bumps Miami up into that sort of, the top 2 in the East? It probably makes them top 5, but I mean, it's pretty fucking jammed up there at the moment. Detroit, New York, Boston, Cleveland, them, Orlando, Toronto. Just saying. The East is fucking crazy. So, yeah. All right. So, you can follow us. We'll do a NBA coffee run tomorrow morning as well, which would be good. So, make sure you're following us on all the socials. What is it? Twitter, IG, Facey, TikTok, YouTube, all the good stuff. Get around NFL Straya as well. That's fucking fast returning. All right. Jim does Supercoach. We'll have the AFL Supercoach show up tomorrow evening as well. We did okay this week, so that's not too bad. But some big questions hanging over the old AFL this week. And then, of course, Footy Unfiltrated with myself and Jez. That'll be up later on this evening as well. So all your AFL covered. Rate, review, star, subscribe across all your podcast apps, YouTube, etc. Get around buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia if you want to help support the show, of course. Big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro song, as well as to House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Goldmines, Ramshack, Kalami, Iowa, Extra Green, and Dozers. They're buying the tunes you hear on the show. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice or buy their shit from Bandcamp. That's it. Nothing at the end of this one. I'm going to get out of here and look after the squids. So we will catch you tomorrow. We're going live for the draft. So see that on YouTube or Facey or whatever. And we'll talk to you then, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would ya? Hug your mates. And Later, Hosen.
Honestly, we've never been better. Lying throughout